Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well, and the Bad Batch Season 2 trailer released a couple days ago of the time of recording that. As we speak, the show releases tomorrow. I'm late to the party.
Yeah, no kidding.
But better late than never, right? But we are going to break down the trailer today. It's 2 minutes long, and it's packed full of content. Now, I did not expect the season to release this early in the year, let alone the trailer, and I opened my phone and just saw the notification from Star Wars saying Bad Batch the final season trailer dropped, and I was just so hyped for it because I absolutely loved the first two seasons. And now with Crosshair and Omega together, captured by the Empire while they're doing God knows what experiments on them, Tech's dead, and then Echo's with Rex, and I assume we will see Hunter and Wrecker with Echo and Rex and that sort of clone rebellion group next season, probably trying to gather intel to Omega's and Crosshair's whereabouts, because they can probably piece together at some point that they are both in the same place, judging by they're both genetically mutated clones. But this season's gonna be dark. It's gonna be very dark indeed, and I'm seriously not prepared for it. I am seriously not prepared. But I will do some Bad Batch episode reactions. I probably won't do all of them, but I will probably react to the finale, the first few episodes, etc. So it's a 3-episode premiere on February 21st. I think it's 21st February, and which is very soon. It's less than a month away, and we're about to start February tomorrow as the time of recording this. So it's really exciting stuff. Let's stop rambling and let's get into the trailer. So, if you don't want any spoilers at all for the season, skip about a minute into the video. You have been warned. But apparently, I don't know this for certain, this opening sequence is from episode 12 or 13 in the season. There's 15 episodes in total in this season. So one episode less than the other two. And the episode is titled Juggernaut, which kind of makes sense. Maybe the Juggernaut is referring to the big walker vehicle that they're in, or maybe it's referring to Wrecker, who knows. he's a Juggernaut. He is definitely like a Juggernaut. But I just said spoilers because we see Hunter alive, we see Wrecker alive, and we see maybe Crosshair because we see the armor. So stormtroopers coming in, TK troopers. And then we see Fee again, which is always nice. Was gonna be Tech's love interest until he passed away, which is, is still a tragic thing to look back to, isn't it? So you see in this shot here, in the back, you see Crosshair. Now, I think this is Crosshair. A lot of people were saying that it isn't Crosshair, it's Echo in Crosshair's armor. But if you see the arms, it's quite unclear, to be honest. It looks like his actual arms, at least from my computer quality. and Crosshair is a bit taller than the rest of the batch, apart from Wrecker, he's the tallest. And just judging by their proportions here, I mean, I know this is animation, so it's not that accurate, but it looks like Crosshair's stance there. So I think at this point, this late in the season, Crosshair and Omega have been rescued or escaped Mount Tantiss and reunited with the Bad Batch. That is my theory. A lot of people were also saying Tech is alive. I don't think Tech is alive at all. I think, they can't just keep bringing back people from the dead. They've done that way too much in Star Wars, and it's just getting unreliable now every time we see someone die. And of course, we didn't see Tech's body. We just saw his goggles. And Dr. Hemlock, whatever his name is, the evil villain guy that's doing the experiments, the leader of Mount Tantiss, said the goggles of Tech in the last episode of the last season was all that he could salvage, which maybe tells me maybe Tech's body is so messed up, or they couldn't find Tech's body. It was just his goggles. But I think Tech is dead. I don't think he's alive. Or at least maybe he's dead, and Dr. Hemlock took his body back to the facility, and they're going to do tests on his brain because he's the most intelligent clone to ever live, probably, because he's genetically mutated to be intelligent. And he might do some tests on him and put his intelligence in maybe himself. You know, God knows what experiments he's up to. So it's quite interesting, but I personally think Tech is definitely dead. But Crosshair here is very interesting. Yeah. So this shot here, this is Coruscant in the back. So we're probably going to see a lot of Coruscant here. It'll be nice to see the Martez sisters again that we saw in Clone Wars Season 7. I know a lot of people grew to not like them that very much, but we haven't seen them in quite a while. So it'll be nice to see like, a little cameo or something, maybe an episode where they're in. Yeah. And this ship here, I don't know for sure, but in last season there was a ship where Echo rescued Hauser. Like Echo and Gregor rescued Hauser, right, in that episode. It was one of the last episodes, I think it's called Tipping Point or something. But it looks like the same ship that they rescued Hauser in. And I'm hoping to see Hauser as well. I'm really hoping to see him because his arc in Season 1 was very interesting. We saw a glimpse of him in Season 2 being rescued and him joining the Clone Rebellion. So I'm sure we will see him. And then we see Rex here saying, I thought that at the end of the war... So obviously this is very true, very deep line right there. It's very, very true. You know, you think the end of the war would mean, you know, the clones can do their own thing, they can live their own lives, there's no more war, no more need for them to get involved in conflict. But the Empire rose in the ashes of the Republic, and the clones are just losing their brothers more than ever before. You know, after the destruction of the Camino, no more clones are being made, so there's just a handful left now. They're being killed off, they're being sent to experimenting on Mount Tantus, they're being decommissioned. You know, it's a very dark time for the clones. I love this series because of the clones. Clones is the main reason why I loved Star Wars Clone Wars, and I'm so happy they've done, you know, 3 seasons on the clones after the Empire. It's very interesting. But in these shots here, we see Rex talking to Hunter in what looks like, I don't think this is the Marauder actually, I think this is maybe Rex's ship or maybe the ship we just saw, I'm not sure. Now this is a good callback to the Clone Wars movie that came out in 2008. You know, the movie is about Jabba's child, and Jabba's child gets captured by Ventress on this big tower. I forget the name, it begins with a T, I'm pretty sure, the place or the planet. And we see the ATT walkers going up the cliff. Yeah, that is here. So it looks like it's on fire, the Empire's maybe attacked it, a ship's crashed or something, but it's a good callback. And it'll be nice to see this place again. Maybe because we see Asajj Ventress in this season, which, oh my god, I'm going to talk about her in a bit, but we might see her here because she was base of operations here back in the Clone Wars at one point. Now this shot is very interesting, okay? So we see here, down in the top, in the bottom left, we see a person walking in front of this rock, right? And then we see someone here in the middle of the screen following them. Now I think this is Crosshair and Omega when they manage to escape Mount Tantus. Now, judging by this, if this is true, they probably don't get rescued. Or maybe the batch try to rescue them, but they get captured, and these two escape. I think what's going to happen is Omega is going to convince Crosshair that there is still hope, and she's going to give him hope, and will motivate Crosshair to join her and somehow plot an escape, and they will escape together in the ship. Now, it's... Now the ship has crashed, which makes me think the Empire has been chasing them for a while. By the rate of which they're walking as well, I think the Empire is dealt with, and there's quite a lot of distance between them, which kind of makes me think they're just in disbelief that they've escaped maybe. I don't know, but it's very interesting. It doesn't look like the same planet as Mount Tantus. I mean, it's got the mist, but it just doesn't feel like the same planet. It could be. Very good shot. Very, very good shot. Take.
I was wrong. You can't just walk away. Not with
Yeah, so Rex is saying not with the Empire imprisoning the kids. So I'm hoping he helps them get Omega back. And I don't know how they're going to get the intel of where Crosshair and Omega is. But as I said, maybe they don't rescue them. Maybe Crosshair and Omega come to them, you know. But we'll have to see. I personally think there's not going to be that much filler in this season because the squad is so split up. Crosshair and Omega are going to get a ton of episodes because, you know, it's 2 of the batch together now. And Hunter, Wrecker, Echo are with Rex. So any episode with Rex and that team won't feel like a filler because just seeing these characters again with the squad, even if it's nothing to do with the Empire, that episode, it won't feel like filler because we've got all these characters and we're like, oh, this is awesome. Just propping the story up. It's another reason why I think there's 15 episodes, not 16. So there's going to be a lot of main story episodes. Now, I don't mind filler at all. I love filler. Filler is really good for character development. It's good to give calm before the storm. It's good to build up the worlds and stuff like that. Yeah, if it was just a streamlined story of no filler, then the world would feel more small. But I guess you don't really need to do that with Star Wars because Star Wars has been built up so much. It's just so big now. But, you know, filler is good, but don't overdo the filler, is what I'm trying to say.
Empire imprisoning the kid.
So here, it looks like, are those droids? It looks like droids, putting something on here. Maybe, it looks like a box of credits, maybe? So maybe they're hiring bounty hunters here.
Imprisoning the kid.
So we see Clone Commandos again, we're going to see Scorch, hopefully, it's going to be good. Escorting Omega somewhere in Mount Tantus. I'm assuming Mount Tantus. And then we see Crosshair here. We see them crossing paths, which is quite interesting. Judging by her gasp, probably means this is the first time they actually see each other, both being awake. And Crosshair just looks so depressed, just so to the point where he's lost hope in everything and escaping. And then maybe he's just about to see Omega here, and maybe we see for the first time a glimmer of hope in his face. Dr. Hemlock, hate him. That's Scorch, yeah, to his right. And, yeah, secure her in a cell. Judging by the way he's saying that, secure her in a cell. He's very calm, even in very, you know, stressful situations. So I think maybe she's tried to escape and she's been captured, and then he's like, secure her in a cell. Maybe. Now we see here, I don't know what she's holding. It looks like a box full of vials or something, I'm not sure. She's about to walk in a room. I don't know if this is the same bit where he's like secure her in a cell. But it looks like it's scanning her for maybe any weapons, I have no idea. And she's about to bring some vials into somewhere. It's very interesting. And then we see her sister, which I don't know if we know her name, and I don't think we do. I'm just going to call her Omega's sister. But we see her in the last season quite a bit. But I feel like she, you know, not turned completely good, but maybe help Omega escape. Now, I like Nala Se in the Bad Batch, but funny story, because I used to not like her because in the Clone Wars she, you know, is one of the main reasons why Fives died. So yeah, it's just Nala Se has a lot of character development in the Bad Batch, has actually grown me to like her, and I'm sure season 3 would do just the same, because, you know, she cares a lot about Omega, and she's the last Kaminoan in, you know, this facility working for the Emperor, I think, because all the others have either been, you know, exiled or killed. So yeah, Omega's been waiting for us. Yeah, Omega's been waiting for us for a long time. I don't know how big of a gap is between season 2 and 3. Probably quite a big gap. Yeah, it looks like maybe a year or so has passed. They miss each other so much, I bet. And then she can just, it's Hunter and Wrecker. Could mean it's just the both of them not working with Rex, but you can't really tell from this image.
It's been waiting for us along.
And then we see Omega just looking out of her cell into the landscape. And it looks very tropical for Mount Tantus, but I think it is Mount Tantus in the day. She can just see the outside, but she can't get to it. So it sucks. And we just see a ship being chased by TIE fighters, I think, there, so nothing much to look at there.
It's not over yet.
Yeah, so our mission is not over yet. Oh, it's gonna be good. February 21st. So here we see Ian McDiarmid as Palpatine once again. Oh, he just gets better at the voice every time he does it. I think as he ages older, his voice just sounds so much more menacing, you know, because as you get older, your voice becomes deeper, becomes more, just has that extra flair in your voice box. It just makes Palpatine just seem so much more menacing. But we see rows and rows and rows of TK troopers, and we see the Royal Guards, maybe for the first time in Clone Wars animation, I'm pretty sure, which is awesome. And I think that's Nala Se in the back as well. I think they are actually arriving on Mount Tantus here. So, yeah, he's going to see what Dr. Hemlock is up to. Oh, it's going to be so sick. It's going to be so sick. Palpatine is involved. It must be extremely high priority. Obviously, Palpatine gets cloned eventually, so maybe this is early stages of that. But, man.
There is nothing of greater importance.
Yeah, so we see Dr. Hemlock here. Palpatine. Scorch in the back. 2 other clone commandos. Nala Se. 2 Royal Guards. This shot is so sick. I swear the animation is getting better every single season. So Palpatine says, there is nothing of greater importance to secure the future of this empire. Here, I don't know what planet this is. Ooh, actually, it looks like the same planet. I've just noticed this now. Look at the background, right? It looks like the same planet as this. It is the same planet. Look at the background. It has to be, right? So I think this is the same episode. This probably takes place before this bit. Yes, it must be the same planet. I've just picked up on this. So I don't know, because this ship is kind of in the center. I don't know if this is just a shot before it zooms in, maybe to Crosshair and Omega walking in the town, or maybe they're in the ship taking off. I don't know, but I thought that was a hyperspeed whale in the background, but it isn't. But yeah, this is the same planet. I don't think we've seen it before, but this is very interesting. And then we see this trooper. Now, a lot of people were theorizing, oh, this is Tech, maybe, but I think this is just a assassin clone, like we saw in Season 2. You know when Rex was going to meet that clone called Slip in the same episodes as when Palpatine gave that speech and Senator Chuchi was in? There was that assassin clone that killed Slip, and then Rex captured this assassin clone, and the assassin clone basically killed himself, basically so he could not tell Rex any intel about the Empire, or who he is, or how he was made. And Rex said that this is no ordinary clone trooper, this clone trooper is new, he was made, that sort of thing. So I think this is another one of those assassins. Not the same one, because the other one killed himself. So this is another assassin, I think, because he has a very similar armor. And later on in the trailer, we see another shot of him here, and the armor looks identical, so maybe this is another assassin clone or the same one that we just saw there. But yeah, it's very interesting to see.
Whatever is needed to accomplish this goal, you will have it.
So there we just see a lot of pew pew, that sort of thing that we love. We see TK troopers taken off.
Needed to accomplish this goal.
We see a good callback to the Death Star cannons, which I love, the green lasers. And then we see the Marauder going away from them. So yeah, obviously definitely involved with the Empire's battles here. So yeah, at least I think that's the Marauder. Looks like the Marauder. Maybe it's not the Marauder. No, it's not the Marauder. I'm wrong. But it's definitely, you know, not part of the Empire. Otherwise, the Empire would not be shooting at them. So, yeah. Then Wrecker, big explosion. Obviously, because he loves explosions so much. They had a little Easter egg there. That explosion after he was shooting. Love it.
You know why? I like to blow things up. You know why? Because I like to blow things up. You know why?
And in this shot here, Who is that? Who is that? Hang on, let me slow this down because I want to see who this is. It looks like Rex and Echo from first glance, but I don't think it is. I think that is Rex in the front. Behind him, I have no idea. I don't know. He has like a little antenna on his head. Sort of thing. I don't know. It could be a gun sticking out. But I just get an Echo vibe. So maybe it's Echo and Rex working together again. That'd be awesome. Because, you know, they've been best friends since the beginning of the Clone Wars. And we see how Rex talks about him in Clone Wars Season 7. Like, you know, they grew up together. They're the same. They're a very similar age. I love this shot in a second. That one there. So sick. Pushes the lever. Or the homing missiles go out. The Old Republic. It's the things we see in Kashyyyk, I think, going with the Wookiees to fight the droids, I'm pretty sure. You know what this bridge looks like? This bridge looks like the same bridge from Clone Wars Season 7 at the beginning of the last arc, with Commander Cody and Obi-Wan on the bridge, and Anakin, you know, the iconic scene where he goes like, "We have come to surrender," and Obi-Wan saves Cody from the big missile. It looks like the same bridge, but I don't think it is, but it looks the same, so I thought I would say it. Obviously, it's quite funny, we have two of them. I didn't notice this before. We have two of the same thing going against each other. It's quite interesting. And then we see a TK Trooper, and then, who says that? CX-1. So that's the name of this assassin, well, maybe assassin clone. CX-1. So, 1. So maybe it is the same clone. I mean, that would make sense because he died. He did the cyanide electric, well, not cyanide, there was a callback to cyanide, but he had like an electric tooth bit down it and he died. So CX-1 makes me think maybe the one we saw in Season 2 was CX-0, like a prototype, and this is like the first real assassin. Maybe. I don't know, but he says they are coming, and then we see a clone commando commanding loads of TK troopers. We see the Marauder, and yes, that's definitely the Marauder this time. And then we see Fennec Shand. It's going to be great to see her again. And Cad Bane. Oh, it's going to be so good to see him. And I love Fennec Shand's and Cad Bane's sort of rivalry. So it's quite fun to see. Now let's say. And then this shot here. Oh, we see my favourite clone. Well, one of my favourite clones. Wolfie. He's my favourite clone armor anyway. And I love his scar on his eye. But we see him with two clone troopers in the back, probably used to be Wolfpack troopers. Maybe it's Boost and Sinker and Comet, maybe. Clone Commando, TK trooper in the back, and I think that's another clone trooper back there actually. So maybe it's Sinker, Boost and Comet. How cool would that be? The whole Wolfpack back together. And Wolfie's armor hasn't changed at all. Apart from the red bit at the top, I don't know if he still has that, maybe he does. It's quite dark, it's quite hard to see. But his armor hasn't changed at all. You know, Cody changed from yellow to grey. I guess he did not have to change. Wolfie didn't have to change because his armor was already grey. So yeah, he's just stuck with the same one, which I love. But we're going to finally see him, which I cannot wait for. He's obviously working with the Empire at the moment because he's with these guys. Judging by his sort of personality and how he was like in Rebels, Star Wars Rebels, I think he's going to be quite hard to be convinced to join back with Rex and the good guys. Because I think his chip definitely worked, definitely activated, maybe more so than most clones. Yeah, I have a feeling that he's going to be tough to turn back. Because he looks quite confident here with the Empire. I'm not sure, but it'll be quite interesting to see. Hunter, I think that's on Pabu actually. So maybe that's in the first 3 episodes. So obviously Hunter, Wrecker and Echo, probably have all gone back to Pabu to try and rethink things after Omega's disappearance and Tech's death. And then we see Rex in his brand new armor, I'm pretty sure. Because he's changed his helmet now, which is quite sad because I love this old helmet with his mix between Phase 1 and Phase 2. But Rex looks like he's ready for battle. He looks like a badass there. Then we see Echo, love you Echo. And then we see this trooper, which maybe is the assassin, but I don't know, I think it could just be a I don't think he's the assassin. He's got green, so I think he's part of Echo, Rex's, and Gregor's sort of rebellion group, because we see sort of green troopers there. So he's just with the flamethrower, probably owning some stormtroopers. Then we see Omega. So I think this shot is actually when she's definitely escaping, and I think it's just before the shot we see of them leaving. So I think that ship that she's flying, obviously she learnt from Tech. Just remember that Tech taught her how to fly, now she's flying, god. And then we see, I can't wait to see Crosshair and Omega's dynamic, but you know, she maybe crashes the ship after the Empire's chasing them, and that shot we just saw is just before this one. Now, it would not be a Bad Batch trailer without Wrecker giving some sort of, you know, one of those lines. You know, in every trailer we get it. At season 1, I think it was like,
What else you got? Give me more!
is that all you got? Give me more! And then, I don't know what it was in the season 2 trailer, I don't know, but this one is give us a real challenge. Obviously, Wrecker always has a optimistic attitude, even if the odds are completely against the Batch.
Challenge.
Now, we see a creature, it wouldn't be Star Wars without a big creature, taking Hunter by the backpack, and then we see Wrecker like, grabbing him. I don't know which planet this is on, but it looks sort of very autumny, very deciduous. I think the Batch will die in the season. Omega's not gonna die. I feel like Omega's not gonna die, but by the end, I mean, maybe they just live out their life on Pabu and just avoid the Empire after they get Omega back. That's what they could do. They might just not kill any of the Batch, but I think Echo will eventually die, because we don't see him with Rex when Rex is with Gregor and Wolfie in Star Wars Rebels, so he's probably going to eventually die. Wrecker, I really hope he doesn't die, but I think out of Hunter and Wrecker, Wrecker's more likely to die here. Hunter and Omega will survive this season. I mean, Hunter is the leader, so he's, you know, he could die as well, but Wrecker and Echo are probably the most vulnerable to die in the Batch. And obviously Crosshair as well. I don't know, to be honest, with Crosshair. He could die, but I don't know, to be honest. He could sacrifice himself for Omega after the arc of this season where he sort of protects her in Mount Tantus, and we see them evolve. Yeah, maybe the end of the season we'll just end up with Crosshair and Omega together, alive, the only ones alive, but we'll have to see. But he could die by sacrificing himself for Omega. And you know what I just saw, right? I did not notice this before. So this is the same shot, but wider, right? When the creature grabs Hunter from Wrecker, right? Look at the background. Who is that? It is Fennec Shand, without a shadow of a doubt. And it looks, I'm pretty sure that has to be Fennec Shand. Orange and black. Surely. She's not facing them though, she's facing the other way. And they're on a boat. That has to be, she's literally holding a sniper rifle, it looks like. That has to be Fennec Shand. And she's not facing them, so it looks like they're on the same team. And she's sort of protecting them from someone behind. Maybe Cad Bane's chasing them on the boat, you never know. Maybe he's rocket boots. A monster grabs Hunter from the back, so they're being attacked from all angles. Maybe it's Cad Bane's little monster. Who knows, but yeah, maybe it's Nala Se. Maybe it's her little creature that she's brewed in the lab chasing them. I don't know. But because earlier on in the trailer, he says, they are coming for all of you, and we just see Fennec Shand, Cad Bane, and Nala Se. So, yeah. Could be misleading, but we'll have to see. They revealed a lot in this trailer. A lot more than I thought they would, which kind of makes me think they've got a lot more in store, you know, in the season that we don't know. So, yeah. It's very interesting. Now this, I'm pretty sure, where it looks like the same planet where Count Dooku's, you know, old base is, but they've already visited that at the beginning of last season, so I don't think they're going to visit it again. This ship looks very, I don't know, bounty hunter-ish, so maybe this is, this might be a Sarge Ventress ship. This might be Dathomir. I mean, Dathomir is very red, this is very pink. I don't know, but it gives off very Sarge Ventress vibes, this ship. One last, and then we see Hunter and Wrecker getting ready for battle. Fight, and then we see this is Rex from the subtitles, and he's definitely changed his armor, or maybe in a clone disguise, but it looks like the same armor by the blue strips on his arms from earlier in this trailer where he's, you know, he looks badass. And then he's with another clone Jabir. I don't know who that is. Maybe it's Gregor in a clone outfit. I don't know. This is awesome. I love Rex's new armor. But I miss his old armor already. Because that does not look... That is definitely not his usual helmet.
We're not big on following orders.
Now we see here, right, I think this is later on in the season because we see Wrecker, Hunter, and we do not see the person on the left, but we see a sniper rifle. That is Crosshair. Alright, I'm saying it now, that is Crosshair. Later on in the season where they all reunite. 100%. It has to be Crosshair. Who else holds a sniper? Obviously the Bad Batch has never been big on following orders, and that's why they ignored their chip when Palpatine said, "Execute Order 66." And then we see some sort of creature that I've never seen before attacking a TK trooper. And then we see a ship flying away from Mount Tantus very quickly. Could be someone escaping? Hang on. Look at this ship. I'm looking into things way too much here. Look at that ship, right? Hang on. It's moving away way too quick for just to be a casual ship. Does that look like the same ship as this? I don't know. Look at that red tip. It's a shuttle. They're both shuttles. Maybe. Oh, it's very quick. Ah! Oh my god. Yeah, I think that is because it looks like there's TIE fighters shooting them or chasing them, but it could be escorting the ship as well. You never know, but they normally fly to the side if they're escorting the ship. So yeah, I think this is when Omega and Crosshair actually escape, and the TIE fighters are chasing them. Although I think more TIE fighters would be chasing them if they were escaping. So I don't know at this point, but it's definitely Mount Tantus in the back. And then we see another shuttle. So many shuttles in this trailer shooting at TK troopers. And then we see Hunter, doing all sort of martial arts.
I wasn't planning on killing you, but you're making it very tempting.
Look at that. The last thing, Asajj Ventress. Okay, so there's so much to talk about here with Asajj Ventress. Oh my goodness. So she says, "I wasn't planning on killing you, but you're making it very tempting." And then we just see her in her Dark Disciple outfit and her Dark Disciple hair. So yellow blades. Awesome. I think she has yellow blades in Dark Disciple as well, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe. I haven't read the book, but I know the story. She has the long hair from Dark Disciple. Now, they said they didn't retcon it, which doesn't make any sense because she died in Dark Disciple, and it was supposed to be a Clone Wars episode series of like 8 episodes, and she's a bounty hunter at the beginning, okay, because she's gone through a whole life of everything, really. Her life is very interesting. She was a Jedi, her master died, she was overcome with just hatred, she went to Count Dooku, became a Sith. Now, it wasn't a Sith that killed her master, it was the pirates, so she didn't have any sort of rage or revenge against the Sith, so she went towards the Sith because she was just so full of hatred. Trained by Count Dooku, was Count Dooku's assassin, and then she was growing too powerful, so Count Dooku just said, "I'm gonna kill you," and betrayed her all of a sudden, and she just felt so betrayed. She lost her first master, she was betrayed by a second. She tried to assassinate Count Dooku so many times with the witches, so she became a Dathomir witch. Then, because by following her roots, because she was, because she is a witch, she is Dathomirian. Dathomirian, is that even a thing? You know what I mean? But she went back to Dathomir and became a witch to become more powerful, to kill her old master, Count Dooku. Now, obviously, she failed to kill him, and then once she failed, Count Dooku knew it was the witches, so he just sent General Grievous to wipe them out. The only survivors were Asajj Ventress and Mother Talzin, and then Mother Talzin and Ventress basically just split off into their own separate lives, and Asajj Ventress then went on to become a bounty hunter for a bit. And at the beginning of Dark Disciple, she falls in love with Quinlan Vos, who is a very interesting Jedi. he didn't follow the code that much. I'm trying to think of the word. He was like Qui-Gon Jinn in a way, but very opposite of Qui-Gon Jinn. He was very powerful. Didn't follow the Jedi code. Was quite rogue, really. But he was still a Jedi and still loyal to the Council. I'm pretty sure. I take everything I say for a grain of salt with Quinlan Vos because I don't know much about him. You guys probably know a lot more about him. But basically, Asajj Ventress falls in love with him. I'm pretty sure they tried to assassinate Count Dooku. I haven't listened to the story in quite a while, but Count Dooku tries to kill Quinlan Vos with his Force Lightning, and Asajj Ventress steps in front of Quinlan Vos, effectively saving him because she loved him. And is supposed to get electrocuted and die. Okay, so that's how she dies. So she goes through this whole arc, being a Jedi to a Sith apprentice, to a witch, to a bounty hunter, to falling in love, till dying. That is an amazing story arc, and they literally said they didn't retcon it. So maybe they followed the same story. She fell in love with Quinlan Vos. Now, I'm pretty sure Quinlan Vos survived Dark Disciple. He survived and Asajj Ventress didn't. Maybe she survived as well somehow. And that's the only bit they retconned. But she still had that full story of falling in love with Quinlan Vos and everything. But she's alive. And she's in the Bad Batch. Now, it's just great to see her again because we have not seen Asajj Ventress in such a long time. Last time we saw her was in Season 5. At the end of the season when she basically was interrogated by Anakin Skywalker about, in that story arc of Ahsoka being, of Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order because she just felt so betrayed because the Jedi Order was just so clouded, they just didn't see the truth. Yeah, that's the last time we saw her. She was bald then. She obviously either let her hair grow out or lost her shaver. I'm not sure which one. Lost her shaver, lost her scissors, lost her hair clippers. But yeah, she's just looking so badass. And from that line of dialogue, definitely sounds like Ventress. And I do not think this is a flashback, unless we see Quinlan Vos. Maybe he's having a flashback, but apart from that, I just don't see any relevance to having a flashback with Asajj Ventress in, unless she's actually in the show, which I really hope she is. Yeah, I don't think they would show it if it was a flashback, like in the trailer. So, and then she's got these shoulder pads, which I think she had when she was a bounty hunter. I could be wrong. But yeah, I love it. Yellow lightsabers suit her so well. She's literally come through like, I don't know, green or blue lightsaber. She was a Jedi, 2 red lightsabers. Oh, and we can't forget the pipe she used. And now she's gone to having a yellow one. But it looks like the same, obviously she and Count Dooku have the same sort of bendy blade. It really helps with dueling, very good with dueling. And it looks like she has it here with a yellow lightsaber. I don't know if she has 2, she's just holding 1 here, but she might have swapped out the crystal to be a yellow crystal, I'm not sure. But yeah, looks like the same lightsaber, or maybe she just made another one with the same sort of crescent moon shape. But yeah, so sick. Now, second thing to add here, she's being shot, right? By blue lasers. Are the Bad Batch lasers blue? Or are they red? It would make sense if they were blue. I think their lasers are blue. So maybe she is fighting the Bad Batch here. Maybe it is the same shot. Maybe it is they're just misleading us with these 2 shots. The Bad Batch shooting her. But I really hope they team up or something against the Empire. I really hope she's not still a bounty hunter and she's hired by the Empire. I'm not sure. I hope that isn't the case. Maybe it is initially and then she goes to like the Batch. But it's going to be quite interesting to see her view on everything of the Empire because we don't really know. It's going to be sick, guys. The Bad Batch, the final season, 3-episode premiere, February 21st on Disney+. So I've been rambling for about an hour, no joke, on a 2-minute trailer. You can see I'm passionate about Star Wars. I did not expect to ramble this long about a trailer. I'm going to have to cut this down immensely. I hope you did enjoy. I hope you have a nice day. May the Force be with you. Look forward to the episode reactions. So excited, pumped, cannot wait. And I will hopefully see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.